Hello everyone, today I'm with Jacob here, who's really good at doing tyre taps, and this video is how to tyre tap. I can't do them, so Jacob's going to be doing most of the most of the practical work. I'm going to be doing the theory of the trick, and we're at the skate park here. We're going to be using this quarter behind me and some other ones just to show you that you can do it anywhere. This trick can be done on any bike, so all you mountain bikers watching, you should carry on watching because this is a sick trick to learn to do at your local skate park. Let's get into it then.
Nice.
Right, so Jacob's going to drop in and do a tap right now, and I'm going to try and talk through what he's doing at the same time. Then we'll go more in depth with it. But here is what a tyre tap is for those of you that don't know. Back wheel and in. Now we're going to try and explain to you how to do it in about 3 or 4 different steps, so it's easier for you guys to break it down and understand what you need to know and just how to do it. Right, there's a few things you need to know before we're going to actually explain how to do it, and Jacob here is going to tell you one of the main things that's quite important to know about that will help you learn this trick. So go for it, my man.
So first, it usually helps if you can manual. Not saying you have to be able to manual, but in a manual you're always trying to aim to get your centre point of balance, and in a tap, along with pedal pressure, that is what you're aiming to do, to get that balance on the back wheel and then successfully land back in the quarter.
Another thing that you should know is that you don't need a brake on your bike to do this, but it can be helpful because if you're bad pedal pressure balance on the back wheel, you've always got the back brake to just hold you in place anyway. Like, the point of the pedal pressure is to stop you going back and forth and to keep balance on the back wheel, but if you've got that brake, like I said, all you need to do is just pull it, keep your weight backwards like Jacob said, and then you should be gold, like a bar of gold. Right, so now we're done with all those things, we're going to try and teach you actually how to do it. Jacob's going to do it one more time and then we're going to try and explain it to you. Nice. Going up the quarter straight is kind of the first step that you're going to want to be able to do. Like this, as you can see, Jacob's coming up very like vertical with the ramp. He's not going up at a weird angle or anything. Oh, nice little variation there, that was quite nice. And yeah, basically going up straight helps you with the balance, because if you're going sideways then your momentum's going forwards to like jump rather than just coming out and then landing down like this. That's basically the motion. You just want to come up, turn, land like that. Jacob's going to try and explain the next step, which is kind of doing the trick, so let's move on to Jacob.
Like Lewi said, you want to come out nice and straight, and then you want to lead yourself into a 90, whatever sort of angle you want to hit the tap at. I always find it easier to go at a bit more of a 90, sort of parallel with the quarter. That way it's easier to spot where you want to go in next, and it just makes life a lot more simple. As you come out at a 90, you sort of want to shift your weight back, lean back over the rear axle a little bit, just so your bike is up in the air, front wheel off the floor, seeing as you're not going to do a tap if you've got both wheels down. And that is why manualing helps, because you're going to find your centre point of balance. It's just going to make the tap so much easier.
That being said, you don't need to do a complete 90. You can land like 45 degrees. Some people do taps where they don't fully 90 and then they pivot and kind of use the pivot as the way to hop back in, if that makes sense. Because if you go 90, you sort of dead stop. If you're at a lesser angle, then you turn and then you can hop in real nice. Also, if you can boots and cats, that's quite useful. Okay, so now that you've landed in the tap, this is where your pedal pressure is going to be really quite an important part of what you're doing, alongside with having your bum over the back wheel. Pedal pressure is literally where you're trying to pedal, basically, is how I would explain it, but your goal is to not actually move anywhere. It's just to hold you in place. This is where the brake's useful once again. If you can't do pedal pressure, then you use your brake. Once you've come out the quarter and your next step is to land on your back wheel, you're going to want to make sure that your weight is still kind of inside the skate park, inside the quarter rather than out, because if your weight's out then you're going to fall off backwards, but you want to be in, so the hop in afterwards is way easier. I'll show you what I mean here of 2 different things, doing it right and doing it wrong, so you understand what I mean. That was wrong, as you can see, because he was too vertical. He wasn't leant into the quarter. So as you could see in that one, he was leaning into the quarter. It wasn't much at all, but basically it wasn't dead vertical like this. He was more at an angle like this, which is really what you need to do to be able to get back in. Otherwise your weight's going to be all off and you're not going to land the tap, which is why I can't do it. I think I'm just weird, can't do it. I'm strange person, odd human, oddly strange humanic person. That's what I am. Poor little Jacob's been teaching so hard that he's strained his back. Oh, Jacob. Final step is getting back inside the quarter once you've finished the tap. And there's two ways you can do this. Jacob likes to hop back in, but you can literally just drop your front wheel and go back in. Dropping your front wheel is something that you should do, in my opinion, when you're learning them, because hopping in can go wrong at times if you don't really know what you're doing. So it's better to just drop your front wheel and then roll out of it nicely. You can learn the hop later on.
Seen as like, I wouldn't recommend hopping in straight away. Just drop your front wheel. It's sort of like dropping in. If you've ever dropped in normally and lifted up your front wheel before you go in, you know what it's like. It's literally the same as that. Not difficult, just sort of go with the quarter, let it roll, you'll be clear. After that, after you've sort of mastered the tap a bit more, then I'd say you can stylize it out a bit, you know, throw a hop in. Makes it look cooler. For me personally, I find it easier. Find your own way, you know, like do what you want to do. Be cool.
Epic.
As you go for the hopping, your pedal pressure sort of comes into play a bit. Your front wheel's already up, that's going to make it harder to bunny hop. That's where your pedal pressure comes into play. You sort of use that to give you a little bit of a boost, help you maneuver the bike up and in. So to sum things up, basically you need to go at it straight. You need to make sure that your weight is into the quarter once you're in the tap. You've got to use pedal pressure to keep you on the back wheel. Make sure your bum is over the back wheel so your balance is correct. Manualing helps. Bit of a 90. Bit of a 90, good, but not at all necessary as long as you're pivoting once you're in. And use your pedal pressure that you've got for the tap to keep you balanced to hop back in, because obviously as your front wheel is up already, you've done half the bunny hops. It's going to be a lot harder to bunny hop again with your front wheel already up. So make sure you use that pedal pressure, that's quite important. Epic. Once you've mastered the tyre tap, you can throw some sick tricks into it before landing the tap. Jacob can do some cool stuff, so we're going to show you some extra cool things you can learn once you've done the tap and got it mastered. Sick. The tyre grab tap. Whoa, that's sick. Yes. Whoa. The bar spin tap. See, it's crazy the amount of tricks you can throw in before the tap. So I hope this helps you guys learn the tap, and we're going to be doing some more how-tos. I've got loads of time to be filming some cool stuff. We're also going to film another video right now, but you won't see that until a few days after this one. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.
I just wanna have some fun.